Are you letting fear hold you back from living your desired life? Are you unclear about your goals and your life's direction? And are you ready to let go of your fear? Are you ready to get out of your comfort zone so that you can start living life on your terms? Well, if that sounds like it resonates with you, then please tune in for today's episode of the Coffee and Confidence Show. So today's title is Clar-Fear-ity. And where does that come from? I'm so excited to introduce today's guest to you. But first, my name is Kelly Carrigan, and I'm your host today. I'm an assertiveness coach, and my business is EmpowerMe Coaching. I'm empowering people pleasers worldwide to calm the chaos in their life so that they can create a balanced life, that they can get into the driver's seat of their own life instead of being on autopilot. You see, I am a recovered people pleaser. I've lived that life for 35 years, and I've been through the trenches. I've been through it, and learning assertiveness skills, building communication skills, and building relationships and building confidence has really made a huge difference. And now I'm helping people pleasers worldwide do the exact same thing so that they can live a truly desirable life that they love. So that is a little bit about me. Without further ado, I want to introduce to you today's guest, Munira Zahabi. She is the Niche Navigator, and she prides herself on being an influencer. She's been trained by John Maxwell. And if you're having trouble finding your niche, I strongly recommend that you reach out to her. So welcome, Munira. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show today. Please share a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Kelly. I really appreciate this. This is a wonderful show you have, and what you're doing and exposing other people is awesome. So I used to be I am a retired healthcare worker.
Okay.
Used to be in healthcare for 25 years, being in the pharma world, but things have changed. Things have changed in pharma world, and healthcare is changing. So I had to go through repositioning, and because there were so many conglomerates, a lot of people were being laid off. I was laid off, and I said I got to a point where I didn't want to go drive to work or take a train to work, which cost money. And I said, I'm just going to sit at home, and I like sitting at home, but I want to do something else. So I went through coaching and discovered that I'm good at helping people finding their niche. So I became the Niche Navigator. And that's been my title for a while. And I love it because it's amazing when you have an adult and their light bulb goes on, oh, I've had it all this time.
Yes, that's amazing. And I'm curious about the John Maxwell training. What steered you in the direction to do the John Maxwell training?
So I've always wanted to help people. And the people who knew me always said, you need to go find yourself a coach. Okay, so my quest had begun about looking for a coach about 7-8 years ago. And, people that I found were not genuine enough, or I didn't resonate with them.
Okay.
I'm a very picky person. And so I said, okay, John, his group of people, I've talked to them several times, people that graduated from the program were very open and were very, they showed me things in the back office and everything that allowed me to see what the program offered. Other people are very closed book. Oh, no, we can't show you. They would have a call like this and share their screen and share what they had. And that allowed, it opened up a lot of possibilities. So I said I should join him. And so, I've been to one IMC, but I've made so many incredible friends. That's amazing. So this community is of 20,000 strong, is growing. And yeah. I'm proud to be a member of that coaching group.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So this is the Coffee and Confidence Show. And without further ado, it is time for What is in Your Cup? So you know what? In my cup, I have a fun mouse Disney cup this morning. And I am drinking an Italian roast with stevia and cashew milk. I'm doing my best to steer away from the sugar today. Also in my cup, something that's not liquid, is gratitude. I'm not sure if you can see it behind me or no, you can't really see it behind me. However, a client of mine made me this most beautiful lotus flower made out of paper. It is absolutely stunning. I'm like, oh, I should show it. I'm going to show it.
Okay.
It's right here.
That's
Look
beautiful.
at this.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Like,
and you said that made out of paper?
Paper.
Oh, wow. Very crafty, very crafty.
So that is what's in my cup. There's Italian dark roast coffee and gratitude in my cup and lots of love. Munira, what's in your cup this morning?
My cup says so very special on top. And this is my cup. And I'm not a coffee drinker because I don't like the bitter taste, but I drink Indian brewed chai. This is the Indian version of tea that is brewed and, with milk. And it's got a bit of sugar. Lots of gratitude because it's this cup of tea that gives me the energy to go all through the day. So just one cup, but it makes me happy. And I'm here, I'm happy and grateful that you are interviewing me today. So here's to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. So I want to remind everybody who's tuning in live and anybody catching the replay, please give us a shout out. Let us know you're here. Send some bubbles across the screen. Give us a like, give us a share, and let's get this message out to everybody who needs to hear it. So yes, if you are tuning in live, please leave us a comment, a question, and the more engaged you are in this conversation, the more you will get out of it. So I'm going to just show, there's a couple comments here by Priceless Princess Jewel. She gives us a smiley face. She says blessings and blessings all. Thank you so much for tuning in live. So this topic, Clar-Fear-ity. Clar-Fear-ity. Where does that come from? Explain what that is, Clar-Fear-ity.
Oh, I coined that term because I thought it was appropriate for your confidence show. Claire, it's two parts. Claire is the clarity, and you talk about confidence. Confidence just doesn't show up, Let me tell you a little story, if that's okay.
Absolutely, please do.
So, there was a bird that always sat on this branch, always. And one day, the branch broke. The bird flew away. And all the other birds said, it's because you were sitting on that branch all the time that it broke. Yeah. See, now the tree is broken. And the bird said, because I sat in the tree, this tree was rotten. However, I didn't fall. I had the ability to fly away just when it broke because I have confidence in my wings. So they carried me. I didn't have to wait for this branch to nurture me all the time. I'll find another branch. So the little bird story is believe in yourself and win the world. It's like we depend on everybody else telling us so much, but we forget to look within ourselves. And clarity and fear come in from within us. It's things that we have to search and then remove. It's like cleansing ourselves. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. And I coined this word because it just came to me. I don't think it's just come to me. But the thing is that you have to. I have my granddaughter visiting me. She's almost 2, and I play hide and seek with her. And she hides, and then she sneaks out, shows me her head because she doesn't know the concept of hide and seek is you have to hide all through. So she kind of makes aware of the fact that I'm here, come find me. And then she screams when you do. That's exactly how confidence is. It's inside you, but it lurks and it's shy and it doesn't come out full-fledged because it's hiding behind the scenes. behind the confidence and the clarity and the fear. So as a niche navigator, one thing I tell my people is get clear on what you want to do, because clarity is going to make a lot of difference. I see a lot of coaches who say, I want to help people. Well, define people. There's a lot of people, define people, figure out who it is that you really want to help, because once you get clear, it's going to free you. I was there a few years ago. I didn't know what clarity was. I was ready to help anybody and everybody because I was a John Maxwell coach. But you have the tools. I'm not saying no, but you have to start out as being clear, you know, and then bring out the gifts that you have inside of you. It's all inside of you. You are like an acorn. You just have to have the burst to become an oak tree. You know, I look at the oak tree and it sheds lots of acorns, but only a few become oak trees, right?
Right.
So why is it that those little acorns have it inside of them to become huge, and why don't others make it?
That's a good analogy that I haven't heard in a long time, Munira. Yes, that's right.
Thank you. So, you want to bring, and the clarity and fear is inside of you, and then the gifts are inside of you. But then you have to also find out what the people need. What is it that people need? How can you help? You have the tools. A plumber can wait all day, and he has all the tools. But unless somebody's toilet or drain is broken, he can't go help. But he has to find those people whose drains, who needs his services. So just like that, you have to do the same thing. Is like be clear and then go help out. And it's not only just you're going to help something. I met somebody who was told by family members that there's a lot of cake shops around, and she didn't want to go bake because she was an awesome baker, only that her family was holding her down. And I said, you make me 12 cupcakes and I'll come pick it up. And she looked at me like, you haven't even tasted them. And I said, it's okay, just make them. You're saying they're good, so make them healthy. I'll come get them. I like cupcakes, but make them healthy. So she made me zucchini cupcakes. Awesome. She uses applesauce or something. They were soft and moist and awesome. It took her about 3 days to get all the ingredients. And she called me. She said, come get them. But that boosted her confidence because, don't listen to the words outside. And we listen. We tend to, we are like the birds around the little bird that,
Right.
chirping around. And we have to just be clear and just say, you know what, I'm going to do this. If you help me or not, it's okay. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get out there and showcase my work, my product.
Right. So I'm thinking of people who are specifically feeling like they are on the hamster wheel of life. So they're working really hard. They're not really happy, but they're on that hamster wheel and not making any changes, not advancing in their career or not doing something different. And they're stuck in a job or a career that is unfulfilling for them. So what is holding them there? Is it fear that's holding them in that spot?
Comfortability, if there's a word, they're comfortable. See, I have met people, I used to come from the pharma world. I've met people who are in the same job for 35 years. They do the same things every day for 35 years. And I always asked people that got closer to them, why? Well, they didn't have any aspirations. They were just happy. So those people are fine. But people who complain about their jobs and don't do anything about it because there's a fear holding them there. There's one, if they're in a job and they don't like it, that comfortable income that's coming in is a problem. If they decide to do something else, then what's going to happen to this income that's coming in? I'm already vested here. So why should I look at something else? Well, you will retire, so look at something else and start planning for that, you know. And you have to, you have to take a risk. You have to take the risk. So those people are just in that um, com- that position where they are not moving. It's like, exercising. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Oh, I can't run 5 miles. Is that possible? But can you do 5 minutes of running? Can you start like that? No, no, it's going to hurt my heart. And well, that's the point. Get your heart up rate. Get that up. No, no, it doesn't work. All my muscles will hurt. I can't do that. So they have excuses.
Right.
So those people need to just, get off the wheel and go do something. That's what I say.
Right. So it's the comfort zone. Although what I'm hearing is, although people are unhappy and they're not really experiencing a lot of pleasure in their life, they're still comfortable with that small amount of displeasure. But it's not so uncomfortable that they're willing to do anything about. Like I remember having a conversation with this lady a few years ago, and she's like, wanting to lose weight. She's like, oh, how come I just can't lose weight? And I said, well, you haven't suffered enough. And she looked at me like, what? It's like, right? It's pain. I think pain is more of a motivator than pleasure. So living in that comfort zone is dangerous because that's where so many people get stuck, right? So it's like, what is going to move them out of that? So there's right?
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
So my husband's not feeling well. And so we're working with a few doctors, and we've also tried traditional medicine. And all of the people that we are seeing, one thing comes down to is have a relaxed life and take care of your nutrition and just move, right? And he works hard. He's on the roof. He works hard. He comes down. And then he says, that's my exercise for the day. But the doctors say, no, you need to have your heart pumping up and down. You have to run. You have to do something. So as we are moving him towards no exercise to some, it's helping him and he feels overall a little bit better. So the Chinese fellow that we met, he says, no, you need to start doing Tai Chi. Well, in my area, nobody's teaching that. So YouTube videos, here we come. And we do 5 minutes of that. So we've started with 5, we've moved on to 7, and it's helping. So again, you have to stretch your muscles, and you have to move out of that fact. The comfort zone is very, very comfort. It's your corner. It's your zone that you've known. You are afraid to be outside. You're afraid to stretch those muscles. You don't want to move out of here because you don't know what's happening out there. What's going to happen if I move out of this circle? But you have to overcome the fear, because the more you step out, the more confidence will come in. And it's like that for everybody. I mean, I'm sure you felt some kind of fear. I have fear of buying expensive stuff, right? It's like, oh, do I really need it? So I go through this whole thing. But everything is fearful because it lives within us. Take a broom. It's Halloween season. You have the cobwebs. After Halloween is take a broom and just clean it all out. And it's going to take time, but you just have to do it, right?
Right. Yes. And so, I mean, I've learned, you have to work on confidence. A few years ago when I started doing videos online, no joke, I would sit in front of my computer just like this, take big, deep breaths. My heart was just racing. My palms were sweating. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? And so many times I'd be like, no, I can't do it. And then I would just keep pushing and just, feel the fear and do it anyway, because that's the way I've learned to gain confidence, is feel the fear and do it anyways. And then over time, it's like, oh, coffee and confidence show, no big deal. Like, I don't get that anymore. But making those steps, those consistent steps, really makes a difference. So yeah, clean the cobwebs.
It's funny you say that, because when I started doing Facebook Lives, I would go on live and then it would start recording and then delete. I did that. And then when I started, I have an interview show. I do Munira's Musings, where I find people and expose them and promote them in their own ways, because there's so many people do so wonderful things. And I've met so many of them, and there's a lot out there. And so when I talk to people, when I first started, you should see the first shows. It's like, oh, and but the thing is, you have to overcome that. You just have to. And as you grow, you learn how to do it better, and you learn how to, so the fear goes out and confidence kicks in. But the confidence that kicks in now wants to grow, because, oh, she's doing it this way. How can I change mine to look at that a little bit better? So it keeps growing. You just have to push out the negativity and let the positivity
in. Yes, that's so true. And the only way that you can overcome those fears is by doing, not sitting back and wishing.
No, you cannot wish, because wishes don't come true. I was wishing for the lottery, the big lottery that was going on. I wanted to win it, but I never bought a ticket, and I just was wishing that, it would fall into my lap, but somebody else won it. So it's okay. But, I'm not happy about that, but that wishing didn't come true. And we are not in Cinderella land. We just have to work hard at what we want, and we have to strive for. So we just have to work hard, and hard work will pay off. I know that.
Right. So if you could give one tip to the viewers out there, for the people like that I'm thinking of that are stuck, that are on the hamster wheel, that when they're asked what do you want for yourself? Like, what makes you come alive? And they are just like, I don't know anymore, because they're so stuck on that wheel. If there was one tip that you could share with them to help them get off that hamster wheel, what would it be?
I would tell them, write down all of the skills that you have, everything. That could mean cleaning, organizing, anything that you know how to do. And then filter out 5 things that make you really smile. Things out that I can do every day, and it's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to complain about this for the next year. If you can do that, it's going to help you a lot, because now you have 5 things that you are good at and know how to do, and that brings a smile to your face. I mean, I like sewing. I don't like sewing. I know how to sew. So that's a skill. But if I have to do it, sometimes I just get, because the material doesn't work, the sewing machine doesn't work. I just get frustrated. So I don't like it. I try to avoid it as much as I can. But if somebody tells me to write, I just sit there and write all day. Don't bother me. I'll just write. So that's how I did it. I had to go through this too, because I needed clarity in my life. Write down all of your skills. Pick 5 that make you smile, and then number it. If you didn't do the first one, what would you do? Would you do the second one? So sort them, and then go from there. That's going to make your life a lot easier.
I love that. So yeah, make a list of all the skills that you have, and then pick the 5 that make you smile. And then from there, from those 5, put them in order, so say, you said, I'm picking on sewing, but anyway, so just basically prioritize them.
Yes, prioritize them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that is definitely a great start. I love that.
It's going to help you, and it helps a lot of people, because there's a lot of steps that I go through with my clients when I teach them how to find their niche. But the first thing is you have to be aware that you are on this wheel, and then you want to get out. So when you feel that, take the step and get out. At least start making the list. Nobody's asking. I tell people, I'm not asking you to quit your job. I recently wrote an article that says, before you sign the resignation letter, it's on LinkedIn. But you have to think about all of these things. And I'm not saying this, you have to be prepared for the next phase in life.
Awesome. Well, that is some valuable information for people out there today. I want to acknowledge Lori's comment. She says, "Hi, beautiful. Good morning, Lori. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to have you here. We're just cluing up here on the Coffee and Confidence show of Clar-Fear-ity, where I've interviewed Munira Zahabi, and she has given some valuable tips. And we had a great conversation about how to get clear, how to get out of your comfort zone, how to let go of the fear, do it anyways, and start, pointing yourself in that direction where you can, live your desired life and whatever it is you want to do. So Munira, how can the viewers get in touch with you?
I am on Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. I am everywhere. I have a website, but if they put in the Niche Navigator, I'm going to come up. I also have to tell you this: there's only one Munira Zahabi in the world. So if they put my name in, I'm going to pop up.
That's interesting. Very rarely does that happen.
Yeah, so I'm all constantly on the lookout. There's only 7. I think there's only 10 of us Zahabis in the world. All of us are cousins. And I tell them, please do not name your child Munira. Just find a new name.
Well, that's amazing. So I welcome you to leave the links to your website, to your pages, things like that once we're done here on the Coffee and Confidence show today. And for anybody, watching, please send Munira a friend request. She is on Facebook, and connect with her. The Niche Navigator, if you are looking to find the niche in your life. So that is the episode of Coffee and Confidence. If you're enjoying this episode, it is a weekly show, so you can tune in next week. We have a returning guest next week, Tabitha Foster, and we are coming up with episode 2 of how to unlock your confidence. So you can tune in next week, next Thursday, November 1st. I just had to think of the date. So November 1st next week, and for episode 2 of how to unlock your confidence. And I welcome any of you to join my private Facebook group called the Coffee and Confidence Show, where the mission of the group is to grow in confidence and to have a little fun. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Munira, again, for being a guest on today's episode. And have yourselves a beautiful day.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you too. Bye.
Bye.